I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script, every scene. This from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's a winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang, the regime. I'm from Piney Green.
What's good, it's Shellitronnn here, the most woke, no joking. I'm back at again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a bold break biscuit. It feels a little bit late for this kind of thing, but the Panthers have made another set of roster moves here. The news just came down. Jonathan Celeste and Norman Price, one being an offensive lineman, one being a linebacker, were both moved to the injured reserve list. And in corresponding moves, the Panthers picked up an offensive lineman whose last name is Catalina, and a linebacker named Brandon Bell, who's coming out of Penn State, but he spent 2 years with the Bengals. I'm gonna keep it real with you right now. I don't have a lot of info on Catalina, and it's just really hard to evaluate the backup O-lineman of the NFL. Is he good? Is he not great? Is he gonna be a guy who will have a specific spot in the backup role, or will he be a guy who's gonna be anywhere on the line, like a guard, tackle, either side of the line, or is he gonna be a camp body kind of dude? I really don't know. And the reason I say that for this video right here is because we have a really good starting O-line. We all understand our O-line is probably the best we've had in the whole history of the team. But in that same vein, we have a really good backup system for our O-line. I think just about every single backup on our line is dependable. I think Tyler Larson, maybe, but I honestly, for the most part, Brendan Hearn, I think for the most part, our backups are serviceable enough and good enough to, answer the call when we need them to. We have a really good offensive line staff. Like, we had guys who've been undrafted free agents, guys who've been kind of later picks down the road who become really good offensive linemen. So I have no problem with what we have on our offensive line in depth there. So for Catalina, I'm just looking at this as a corresponding move to make sure we have another offensive lineman who can be in practice. Now for Brandon Bell, this guy is kind of a confusing pickup here, because in college, I'm not gonna lie to you, this dude was actually kind of nice at college. He went to Penn State, like I said earlier, and he had some pretty good years there. I'll throw up his stats for you right now. You can see his freshman year, he had 24 total tackles. That's about it for his stats there. 1 forced fumble. But then in 2014, he had 47, 7 for a loss, and 2 sacks. That's pretty good. And I can go on about his tackle stats year by year, but that's not where I want to focus right here. I want to focus on something that I really saw happening a lot in this last preseason game against the Bills. Something I think we really got to address here, and that is coverage for our backup linebackers. His sophomore year, he had 1 interception and 3 passes defended. Junior year, another interception. Senior year, 2 interceptions and 3 passes defended. You see his tackles for a loss, 7, 12.5, 7.5, and even his sack numbers are pretty good. 2 sacks, 5.5, 4 sacks. Those are pretty good numbers. You can see he's good at getting through the line, probably good at blitzing, but he's also pretty serviceable as a linebacker in coverage, but he wasn't drafted. Right? The guy wasn't drafted, and that's for a number of reasons. First off, he's 6'1" and around 230, 240 pounds. He's a little bit undersized. There were some things about his footwork not being all that great, him getting lost sometimes when singing the second level, and him not really being the strongest guy of all time. Now, I couldn't find his combine numbers, and I think that's because he didn't go to the combine, but I peeped his pro day numbers, and they weren't exactly the most impressive things of all time. I think it was a 32-inch vert. He had a 4.68 40, which isn't horrible for a linebacker, but when you think of a smaller kind of guy, undersized, you want, I don't know, 4.68 isn't all that bad, I won't lie to you. But his bench press reps was 15. Now, I've seen 15 reps on some smaller guys. It's not really the biggest indicator of skill for a linebacker, but you do still use that push motion when you're a linebacker sometimes. But either way, he was pretty impressive during his time at Penn State. But when he got to the pros, he played for the Bengals for 2 years. And in 2017, he played in 3 games, had 7 combined tackles. And in 2018, he played in 6 games, had 4 combined tackles. And we understand the Bengals had a good defense. They're not a great team. They're a pretty average team. But their defense for a long time has been pretty straight, especially that front 7. Say what you want to about Vontaze Burfict, but he's a good linebacker in the league. I guess you can say all that. Look. The point is, he hasn't really shown all that much in the league, and I'm not really 100% sure how good or bad of a pickup this is, but I'm actually very interested to see how he does. I don't think he'll really take Andre Smith or mainly Jermaine Carter's spot, but if he proves he can be good as a coverage linebacker for our team, he might make the 53. He might have to start his Panther career off as being a gunner on the kickoff team, but he could probably move himself up in the ranks and maybe make a name for himself with some coverage plays here and there, because what we saw in that Bills game, look, we understand that preseason games aren't the end-all be-all, and we can't judge them 100% off that stuff, but we did see Josh Allen targeting our backup linebackers play after play after play. They were getting caught up. They couldn't cover slot receivers. They couldn't cover tight ends. It was getting bad. When I say they, I really do mean Andre Smith, but look, we understand we need a little bit more coverage. Maybe if something were to happen to Shaq or Luke, if they come out of the game for a play or two, we need to have really, really dependable linebackers who might be able to cover. So this could be an interesting signing here for Brandon Bell, but we'll have to wait and see on that. That's all I got for you today, man. What are your thoughts on these two pickups? Do you have any thoughts at all? Do you know anything about Brandon Bell? Do you think it was the right move to pick up another linebacker who might be able to cover? Or would you have rather gotten a different position, maybe a defensive back, maybe another O-lineman, maybe something else? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.